Your difficulties in manifesting your person lie in the fact that you are so separated with your focus. Now, I don't mean separated in the sense of focusing on different things, because that is fine. I mean separated in the sense of you're using some of the things from those videos, some of the things from those books, some of the things from those Redditors, some of the things in those Instagram stories, and you've created some Frankenstein's monster worth of pieces on how to manifest, jammed together and hoping for the best. Now, that isn't really a problem in itself, because all techniques and processes will manifest assuming they're used effectively. But what you're doing, and I see this across the board, is when those videos don't work immediately, you then jump to that video or those books. When those don't work immediately, you then jump to Instagram and jump to Reddit and start doubting, fearing, and your brain becomes scrambled with what ifs, why not, and so on. So what I intend to do today in today's video is give you a process to manifest, when to do it, techniques to do it, and different examples on how to utilize those techniques and the best times and ways to do them. Because that way you can just refer back to this singular video, commit to it, stick to the process, and ensure that you will manifest. So if that's something that you feel you need, drop me a like and a comment, and let's get into this. So starting off, I always advocate, assuming your schedule allows for it, to utilize the morning when you've just woken up and the evening just before going to sleep, or even better, as you're falling asleep, to do some kind of technique. Now, the reason being, in these states, you are in what is known as an alpha brainwave state. An alpha brainwave state is associated with rest and digest, relaxation, drowsiness, sleepiness, conscious activity, but with greater subconscious receptivity than, say, the beta brainwave length, which we're in most of the day. Now, you can manifest while in the beta brainwave length, but let's use our tools while they're sharpened and aim for the alpha brainwave length. You can do stuff during the day as well. If you'd like a lunchtime slot to do some kind of technique, that's fine too. But as a minimum, I do recommend the morning and night. Now, if you work nights, for example, your morning would be night. So what I would advocate is when you wake up and just as you're going to sleep, if you don't have a typical morning, nighttime, sleeping awake routine. It's perfectly fine. Just because it's nighttime when you wake up, because that's when you do your shifts, you will still be in that alpha brainwave state until you're kind of up and ready to go. Now, as you go through your day, I advocate living life to the best of your ability. Make your life so good that you don't even have time to think about your desires. Because that way it helps you with the detachment side of things, which everybody advocates. Detachment being detaching from need, dependency, and so on of this desire, not detaching from the desire itself. Because if you actually had that thing, you would still have an attachment toward it. So therefore, when manifesting, why do we have to pretend like we don't want it or detach from it? It's just detaching from the need, because when you actually have that thing, you won't need it because it is there. So by making the best of your day-to-day life, you aid yourself in naturally detaching because you're just getting on with it. And this can create abundant states in your life overall, which can actually help with your desire. Now, if your desire comes to mind, which it likely will if you've got feelings for someone, if they're good thoughts, let them play out and enjoy them. If they're bad thoughts, but not really doing anything negative to you internally, just simply redirect them back to positives using the techniques I'm going to get into in a second, or just simply thinking positive. If they have an effect on you, bringing up anxiety, stress, fear, or anything like that, I recommend taking 20 seconds to deep breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth, calm the body and mind down, get them back into cohesion, and then utilize the techniques to get yourself back to the state. Rinse and repeat until nighttime or sleep time. Technique, fall asleep to it if you can. If you can't fall asleep to it, then just do it just before going to sleep. That's when I recommend. The reason being, By morning and night, we're being proactive with the work, putting our state more dominantly aligned to the desire on a proactive standpoint. By living our life, we're acting detached or we're being detached, which allows the subconscious mind to get to work in the background. And then by catching those thoughts when they come up and redirecting them back to the desired state, you're being reactive, but in a positive sense, stopping yourself from feeding into that negative state. And that's just going to constantly keep that good state going up and up and up and keeping that bad state to a minimum. That's the routine. That's what I do. And it works perfectly fine. I don't even do that much half the time because of, my life set up and how used to I am when it comes to manifesting. So I know this works and it works for my clients as well. If you found value in this video so far, be sure to drop me a like and a comment to let me know. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and be sure to click that bell icon. And if you want to save months off of your manifestation and succeed just like myself and many, many, many of my other clients have, once you've watched this video, head down to the comment section or the description because there's the links to my website where you can find tons of different products and services fine-tuned and tailored to help you manifest your specific desires. But thank you for your time, and let's get back into this video. So that's the times. Affirmations, if you wanted to manifest your specific person through affirmations, I recommend something along the lines of, I am in a loving, passionate, and committed relationship with SP. I feel safe and secure in my relationship with SP. I am more than good enough, or I have always been more than good enough to have a loving relationship with SP. And if you want a long one that I personally really like, SP and I have an amazing future ahead of us together, filled with new and amazing memories. Those are 4 affirmations that I personally used and I recommend to other people, and I use in the I Manifest For You service, and they're exceptionally good at getting results. So I recommend those 4 affirmations. You can use them all or just swap between them. I can't remember if I actually mentioned, so I'm just going to quickly do it now. With the morning and night work, I recommend 5 to 10 minutes of a technique. Or if you're falling asleep, of course, falling asleep to it. So for example, 5 to 10 minutes of affirming, I am in a loving, passionate, and committed relationship with, insert person's name. Or I feel safe and secure in my relationship with, insert person's name. Now those are general affirmations. Regardless of your situation, they will work. But I know that there's going to be some of you that think, oh, my situation is so different because of XYZ thing. They will still manifest regardless of the circumstances because they're detailing the end result of being in a relationship. But if you want a recommendation of an affirmation specifically to your situation, just comment it below. But that's affirmations. For visualizations, I recommend visualizing. You can mix and match between these, but I would maybe just pick one of them and stick to it. But again, entirely up to you on this perspective. It will still manifest if you do one of the scenes one day, one of the scenes the next day, one of the scenes the next day after that, because they're all detailing you being in that loving relationship. But the first one, the 2 of you celebrating some special anniversary. You can be at a restaurant, for example, and you could be saying to them, happy 5-year anniversary, and them saying it back. This is good because it details that you've been together for X amount of time of your choice, and it's abundant, it shows everything's good, and so on. The second one, if you want to get married, you could do simply your honeymoon together or the actual wedding itself. If you don't want to get married, you could simply just have the conversation with them when they're telling you how much they love being in this relationship with you. And the third one, and this one I would say tailor it toward goals that you have in a relationship. But let's say, for example, you wanted to buy a house at some point in the future. You could visualize the 2 of you signing your names on that dotted line to say that you've bought the house, for example. But those are sort of 3 visualization themes. Again, try them out. You can have one day, one the next day, one the next day, or just stick to one. It's entirely fine because the state that they are implying is that you're in this relationship. Now you could utilize this and I suppose affirmation in SATS, state akin to sleep. And this is basically the no man's land between going to sleep and actually falling asleep, where the best way that I can describe it is that you're in kind of like a void, is what it feels like for me. The way I get into sats personally is to close my eyes and count backwards from 50, seeing the numbers in my mind as I'm doing it. And by the time I get to 0, my body's kind of shut off, but I still have conscious activity, and it's very easy for me to guide my mind. Once you get into that space, you could then loop the affirmations, or you could loop the visualizations, and so on. The next method that you could try is scripting. Now, there's 3 different ways to script that I mostly utilize, so I'm going to recommend them here. The first one is just simply writing out your affirmations. I'm in a loving, committed relationship with Katie. I feel safe and secure in my relationship with Katie, and so on. Very simple. The next is writing out basically what you would visualize, like a diary entry. Today was our 4-year anniversary. They had their hair like this, and we ordered this, and basically just write it out like a diary entry. And the third and final one is similar to the affirmations, but with more detail. So instead of I am in a loving, committed relationship with Katie, I would write, I'm in a relationship with Katie that makes me feel special, loved, and chosen, and I make her feel the same. In this relationship, we have so many things in common, and you flesh it out. It's almost like a mixture between the diary and the affirmations. You're just fleshing it out. And that's what I would recommend for scripting. Inner conversations, I suppose, would be very similar to visualizations, just without the visual sense. So you would just hear the conversations as though it was going on, and so on. But these are the 4 main ones: affirmation, scripting, visualization, inner conversations. There are other things you could do. For example, sigils, which actually I'm going to talk about in my next video. We'll see how that one goes. The water in the cup method, and so on. But these are the ones that I think are the most effective to utilize because of the amount of different ways you could do them, how easy they are to do, and so on. But 5 to 10 minutes in the morning of you utilizing what I've just given you here, same thing at night, and then as you go through the day, keep an eye on your thoughts. If thoughts are okay, let them play out. If they're bad but not particularly triggering, just simply redirect them. If they're triggering, deep breaths for 20 seconds, then redirect them. And this gets you back in cohesion. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is in reality all you need to manifest your desire. Proactive in the end state, positively reactive in the end state, living your life so you're detached, and all of the examples of the techniques are from the end result. Very easy to do and will manifest. But I hope this video has helped. I aim for it to be a one-stop shop. It doesn't need to be ridiculously over the top with like, oh, and then you have to quantum entangle by twisting your elbow that way and pushing out the old story like that and then blowing a kiss to your new story. It doesn't have to be any of that shit. Your thoughts, your feelings, your awareness create your state of consciousness. If your state of consciousness is more dominantly aligned toward having something than it is toward not having something, you will have that something. You have to persist until it hardens into fact, yes, but you will have it nonetheless. Everything I've ever set my mind to has come into play utilizing this routine. My brain just went numb. This routine or some variation of it. And the vast majority of the people I've worked with that have succeeded have done the exact same. So give it a go, test it out, stay committed, and you'll manifest. Now, if you want even more in depth, and I'm talking 6 hours worth of me talking about this, breaking it down in presentation form, I do have the full Manifest Your Specific Person course available in the link below, linked below. But drop me a like and a comment on this video if it has helped you. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and be sure to click that bell icon. And if you want to skip the guesswork of manifesting your person and have me look at what you're doing specifically and give you my expertise, I do have things available on my website where I can do that, such as one-to-one services, the courses, memberships, and more. So go check them out right now. Do yourself a favor and save yourself months of manifesting and just get your result. I look forward to working with you. But for now, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.